injuries. I'm gonna go first. You went first last week, so I'm gonna go first today. My first game is this Kansas and Oklahoma game. Now, this game right here, it was 8.5. It went up to 9. It was one that kind of jumped off the page for me, just off the fact that I said that Kansas will be our moneymaker on the plus point side of things. But this one right here is a little different because they lost the quarterback on Kansas, Jalen Daniels, last week. But guess what? Dylan Gabriel on Oklahoma side, he's questionable as well. But from capping the teams together, Oklahoma is going through some bad times on defense, which is not really new to us. Lincoln Riley didn't do much defense when he was there neither, so it's not new to us. But it seems like it's getting away from it a little bit. They're allowing 44% on third down. They only have 4 interceptions for the year. They do get after the ball a little bit for the quarterback, and they have 14 sacks. But nothing really great to speak on the defensive side of things. And then the offensive side of the ball, they're just kind of good. You know, they 35% on third down, 215 rushing yards per game, 220 passing yards, pretty balanced on the offensive side. But they only rank 42, they're putting up 30 points a game on the average. So, Oklahoma's been backsliding a little bit lately, and I think that with the new coach in there, we have to take that in consideration. Even the schools always don't expect these guys to produce after the first year. Although sports in general, that's a new thing. Like they want people to produce right away, but not such. Kansas on the head with Lepoid over there. This is his second year over here, and he's put together something a little magical. This team plays at a high level, going from a little bit to a lot of bit right now. But this Jalen Daniels, he was a definitely pass and run threat. He's definitely out for this game. So his backup, I forget his name, but his backup came in last week and did fairly well despite his absence. Kind of had pretty much of the same skill set. So I kind of leans towards Kansas plus the point still, being that they may be the one with the quarterback that can handle things. Oklahoma, on the other hand, and they were reaching. They may be caught up in that thing between having those portal players and not having depth at certain positions because or not having talented depth, let me say, because of the portal and stuff like that. So I was leaning Kansas on this one plus the 8.5, but I'm gonna really wait on this one and wait till see what Dylan Gabriel does. Because if Dylan Gabriel comes in, I'm not sure. Not that I don't think Kansas can still win or cover, but I'm not sure that that's where I want to have my money land on. Hopes of the second string quarterback to come in, and he definitely can't do the same job as the first string, but he could do something comparable and also get cover. It's a 22-man sport, 11 on each side. One man go down, that can't rock the whole boat. So I think Kansas still got a chance in that game. I mean, definitely if Daniels was in the game, this line would be something totally different. So the public's going to keep rising the line because they see that star talent missing on this magical team. But I think Kansas might be a spot. But I'm gonna pull the trigger. Moving closer to game time on this one. You got anything on this one, Big Ragu?
Yeah, I think you got the right idea here. It has to be like a wait and see, definitely a wait and see spot, especially with Jaden going down for Kansas. If anything, Kansas has definitely got all the momentum going their way. They answered the task. Last week was a big game. We're talking about we had College game day in Lawrence. That was they answered the questions as far as being able to sit under the bright lights, even though it was a daytime game. Just the national attention, all the media that they were getting, and they've been a hot team, and you were on them way back early on. So credit for you for figuring that portion of it out. And they traveled well. They played on the road. Oklahoma, they started out 3-0, and they've lost their last 3 to major opponents in the conference. I think let me see who we got here. They lost. Let's see. Well, they got shelled last week. We know that. That would have been. Usually because of the way that they've been playing, that would have been the spotlight game every year. That the Red River game is like the biggest game on that Saturday, but not so much last week. And 0-49, they got beat pretty handily by Texas. And Texas, they were going through their little bit of issues, but I think Texas is going to be all right. TCU took care of business with them, and then Kansas State took care of them also. So, going forward, there's going to be a lot of question marks in Oklahoma, and that's one of those things where the coach, his style of play didn't transition right away, carry over to the team. Like we brought this up in the past, where the offensive coaches show up, they have a better defense. Now you got a defensive coach showing up, and and he did get Gabriel, but right now they're struggling on both sides. So we're going to see how they come out moving forward, and whether they even make a bowl at this point in time, because right now they're sitting at 3 wins. They got to click 3 more wins off, and they're in the middle of conference play. So we'll see what happens. I doubt they get to compete. Probably Oklahoma State's a better team in Oklahoma this year without question, and they had a nice win this past week too. So that's a team you need to watch going forward. I had them. I was a little leery about laying the early on. The game opened at 9.5, and it closed at 11, and landed on 10, I believe. So that was one that was like real dicey. And then same thing with the totals too. Like if you're gonna bet totals that you like, if you like overs, most guys are gonna bet on these big games. Are gonna bet the totals up, and there's a few totals that kind of got that way too. Like I think that was one of the games that was 68.5. And it landed on 69, and it closed at 70. So the total and the side could have got middled in that game. So that's just a typical Big 12 game. So this week, who knows what happens with these two teams? But I'm taking your approach. I'm going to sit on the sidelines up until maybe game time. We get some good information, then we'll roll with it. If not, then guess what? Never hurts to pass, my brother. Never hurts to pass.